Hello and welcome to episode 17 of our podcast. What's in it for me? I'm your host, Jason. Today, we're diving into a topic that's crucial yet often overlooked in discussions about diversity and inclusion, intersectionality in the workplace. For those of you skeptical about diversity initiatives, I encourage you to listen with an open mind as we explore the multifaceted nature of individual identities and experiences. Defining intersectionality. Let's start by unpacking what we mean by intersectionality. The term was coined by legal scholar Kimberly Crenshaw in the late 1980s. It refers to the way different forms of discrimination and privilege overlap and intersect in individuals' lives. Imagine an employee who is not just a woman, but a woman of color, possibly with a disability. Her experience in the workplace is shaped by a combination of these identities, not just one. This concept challenges us to look beyond single issue frameworks. It's not just about gender or just about race or just about disability. It's about how these identities interact and influence a person's experience. Why intersectionality matters in the workplace. So why does intersectionality matter in the workplace? Because it helps us understand the complex realities of our colleagues. It sheds light on the unique challenges faced by individuals who belong to multiple marginalized groups. Without this understanding, our diversity and inclusion efforts might be well-intentioned, but they'll be incomplete. They might miss crucial aspects of what it means to create a truly inclusive environment. Recognizing that privilege and underprivilege are related is essential in understanding and addressing the systemic disparities that exist in society and, by extension, in workplaces and educational institutions. This recognition is crucial for several reasons. Acknowledging systemic inequities. Understanding the relationship between privilege and underprivilege means acknowledging that certain groups have historically had access to opportunities, resources, and advantages that others have not. This disparity isn't necessarily due to personal effort, but is often the result of systemic factors like socioeconomic status, race, gender, and other forms of social stratification, creating fair opportunities. Once we recognize these systemic disparities, we can work towards creating more equitable opportunities. Equal access means ensuring that everyone has the necessary resources and support to compete on a level playing field, thereby reducing the gaps caused by historical privilege. Redefining merit. Traditional views of merit often overlook the impact of privilege. For example, standardized test scores might be seen as a meritocratic tool, but they can be influenced by factors like access to high-quality education and test preparation resources, which are often linked to socioeconomic status. By redefining merit to include a broader range of criteria, such as portfolio assessments or holistic reviews, we can create a more inclusive definition of merit that recognizes diverse talents and backgrounds. Portfolio assessment. This approach evaluates an individual's skills and achievements across a range of activities and experiences, not just traditional metrics like grades or test scores. This method can help identify potential and talent in individuals who might not excel in conventional assessment criteria, but have strengths in other areas. Continuous feedback. Implementing continuous feedback mechanisms helps in identifying and addressing gaps in performance that may be due to lack of access to resources or support. Feedback can guide individuals in their development and help mentors or educators tailor their support to meet specific needs. Closing gaps using a combination of equal access, redefined merit criteria, portfolio assessments, and continuous feedback, we can start to close the gaps created by privilege and underprivilege. This approach ensures that talent and hard work are the defining factors in success, not one's background or access to resources. In essence, recognizing the interplay between privilege and underprivilege and taking steps to address it is key to creating a more just and equitable society. It allows for the development of systems and practices that recognize and nurture potential in all individuals, irrespective of their starting point in life. Intersectionality and inclusion effort. Let's consider our inclusion efforts. Are we taking into account the multi-layered aspects of identity? For instance, when we talk about gender equality, are we considering how race, ethnicity, or disability might impact a woman's experience differently? This is where intersectionality becomes vital. It ensures that our strategies for inclusion are holistic and nuanced, not one size fits all. Challenges in applying intersectionality. Applying intersectionality in the workplace isn't without its challenges. It requires us to acknowledge and confront complex and sometimes uncomfortable realities about privilege and discrimination. It asks us to listen to and learn from experiences that may be very different from our own. Not easy work, but it's necessary if we're committed to building truly inclusive workplaces. So quote, Intersectionality by Patricia Hill Collins and Surma Bilge. In their book, Intersectionality, Patricia Hill Collins and Surma Bilge explain, intersectionality is a way of understanding and analyzing the complexity in the world and people and in human experiences. They remind us that people's lives and social relations are multidimensional and complex. Our diversity efforts must reflect this complexity. Real life application. Let's talk about real life application. How can we integrate an intersectional approach in our daily work life? First, it starts with education and awareness, understanding the concept and its implications. Then it's about looking at our policies and practices, from hiring and promotion to everyday interactions, and asking, are we considering the full range of our employees' identities and experiences? Real world application of intersectionality in the workplace? Scenario, hiring practice. A tech company is looking to diversify its predominantly male workforce. Using an intersectional approach, they not only focus on hiring more women, but also consider other aspects like race, socioeconomic background, and LGBT status. This leads to a more comprehensive diversity strategy. And so you want to talk about Race by Ijoma Olu. She states, it is about understanding that each struggle is connected and we must confront all these oppressions together. This quote emphasizes the need to recognize the interconnectedness of various aspects of identity in our diversity efforts. Employee resource groups. A financial institution has several ERGs. Recognizing the intersectionality of their employees, they encourage the formation of an ERG for Black women, addressing the unique challenges at the intersection of race and gender. Kimberly Crenshaw, in her work on intersectionality, asserts, if you're standing in the path of multiple forms of exclusion, you're likely to get hit by both. This underscores the importance of recognizing and addressing overlapping areas of identity. Professional development opportunities. A multinational corporation revises its leadership training program to ensure it is accessible to employees from various backgrounds. They consider factors like language barriers, cultural nuances, and accessibility for employees with disabilities. In The Diversity Bonuses by Scott Page, he argues diverse groups of people bring to organizations more and different ways of seeing a problem and thus faster, better ways of solving it. This highlights the value of diverse perspectives in organizational success. Performance evaluations. A retail company updates its performance evaluation criteria to include metrics on inclusivity and cultural competence. This change acknowledges that success in the workplace isn't just about individual achievements, but also about contributing to an inclusive work environment. Daddy-Os in A World Designed for Men by Caroline Criado Perez. She notes ignoring the issue of gender or any other kind of diversity leads to a worse outcome for everyone. This quote reinforces the importance of considering diverse perspectives in all workplace practice. Workplace flexibility policies. An advertising agency recognizes that their employees have different needs regarding work-life balance. They introduce flexible working hours and remote work options to accommodate various lifestyles, such as working parents or employees who observe religious practices. And we can't talk about that at work. By Mary Frances Winters, she advises creating, inclusive culture requires understanding that different people need different things to feel respected, valued, and included. This quote highlights the importance of accommodating diverse needs in the workplace. By integrating these scenarios and book quotes, the concept of intersectionality becomes more tangible and relatable, providing listeners with clear examples of how intersectional strategies can be implemented in everyday work life. So here's your call to action. Reflect on how intersectionality shows up in your workplace. Engage with your colleagues in discussions about their diverse experiences. Consider ways to incorporate an intersectional lens into your diversity and inclusion initiatives. It's about moving beyond acknowledging diversity to actively embracing and celebrating the full spectrum of our shared humanity. Thank you for joining me on What's in It for Me. Today's conversation about intersectionality is just the beginning. As we continue to navigate our diverse world, let's commit to understanding and valuing the complex tapestry of identities that enrich our workplaces and communities. I'm Jason, and I look forward to exploring more impactful topics with you in future episodes. Until next time, let's strive to create a workplace where everyone feels seen, heard, and valued.